joining us for the 2-minute drills. We are back. The 2014 season has arrived. I'm Aram, Tolegian, San Gabriel Valley Newspaper Group football writer, joined by Fred J. Robledo, the prep coordinator for the Los Angeles Newspaper Group. Freddie, we have a very big one going down in the Pac-5, yes, but it's not in our backyard this year. It's taking place deep in the heart of Orange County. It will be at Saddleback College, where Santa Margarita hosts Bishop Amat, our perennial #1 team in the area, which means something to us, but not a lot to other people, obviously.
Right.
And the reason I say that, Freddie, is because I've already been vocal with my prediction about this game and my confidence in Amat. And yesterday I started to take heat on the Twitter sphere because get this, this is pretty amazing. And this is just testament to how bad Amat's streak credit sucks right now because of what they did last year. I predicted Amat to win this game, right? We'll just get right into that. People are like, giving me like, you're out of your mind, like how can you do that? Oh, I don't know. This is the same Amat team.
38-28 last year?
Same Amat team that beat Santa Margarita 38-28 last year.
And pretty handily, I might add, too. That score was closer than the game really was.
Okay, or wasn't as close as
it wasn't as close.
Right,
that's what I'm going to say.
So, I don't understand how people are giving me heat for this. I know, Santa Margarita has KJ Costello back at quarterback.
6'5" junior Aram. And he was a little banged up last year, and if he's healthy, your sophomore to your junior year, this could be big for them.
Right. And he's obviously looked the part in the off season with all the passing things, and he is a big time recruit. However, Bishop Amat, this is, Freddie, like I've said, the team that we've all kind of been waiting for. This collection of back-to-back good classes, the junior and senior class, and I've gone on record saying that this is the best, and by best I specifically mean most talented, top to bottom, Bishop Amat team of the last 10 years.
Or in the Steve Haggerty era.
I don't think Haggerty was the coach. Yeah, he wasn't the coach in 04, but I can take it back to 04 because I covered those teams. Maybe people think I'm crazy here, maybe I'm not. But am I crazy in saying that Bishop Amat is the favorite in this game?
No, I don't think so. They also have a tight end, Rick Wade, who's a UCLA commit, and wide receiver Kyle Sweet had 909 yards and 9 touchdowns last year. Look, they're a good team. Santa Margarita was 4-6 last year. They did lose that game 38-28 to Amat. But you're absolutely right, Aram. Amat finished 6-4 last year in a pretty good league. And think about what they have coming back in juniors. Trey Sidney and Tyler Vaughns, 2 super DBs who are also going to be wide receivers. You got Christian Wiley in there as a third target with a new quarterback, Damian Garcia, who you saw at a practice and maybe a passing league this summer, who you think is going to be really good. And then if Anthony Camargo can run the ball at fullback, if he can move the chains, something they really couldn't do last year. He was a junior last year. This is going to be big for him being a senior because I thought he was just right there. Maybe he needed that season under his belt to run, and I think that's going to help him. But the big thing is those offensive and defensive lines. That's what separated. They've always been the #1 team in the Valley because they've had these weapons, and when you size them up against Valley teams, they can handle Valley teams on the lines. But you step into Orange County, you step into Pac-5, this is where they've been pushed around. Now, like you said, their past 2 years, these are guys that they've groomed on the lines that are a little bigger. I think you were out there watching when they had their ice bucket challenge, and one thing you told me that you were kind of surprised when you stood there, you said these are some pretty big guys that they have behind you.
They have some decent size on the offensive line, and they have some okay size on the defensive line, but a lot of quickness on the defensive line. And then you look at the linebackers, when it is Camargo and Wiley at linebacker, and we don't know how often they'll actually be out there together because Camargo's going to be spending so much time at running back, and you don't want to just completely empty the gas tank. Those are 2 very sizable linebackers, and two of the better ones. I mean, they both have good height, good bulk. This is a good-looking team, Fred. They have athletes all over the secondary. They are a very, very good-looking team. You brought it up. The one question mark is Damian Garcia, the quarterback. He was the QB of the sensational freshman team. Last year as a sophomore, he was the backup QB to Koa Haynes. He's now the varsity starter. Does he need time to get acclimated to varsity life? Starting on the road against a Santa Margarita team like this is a tough assignment, but you hope he goes out there and he's not trying to win the game by himself, and I doubt he will be. He'll be under control.
I
they're stacked, Fred.
Yeah, that's going to be, in the last couple of years when they had Koa Haynes, they really like to spread it out a little bit more.
Right.
They started to throw it more than they did early in the Haggerty years when they could lean on that running back. So Garcia being a guy who didn't get many reps last year, Koa was healthy for most of the year, most of the last 2 years. It'll be interesting to see what their game plan is, how much they use him, how much they think they can run the ball and be successful and move the chains. So that's going to be interesting to me to see. Defensively, yeah, I think this team is going to be really good. The one thing Amat, I think over the years where they've really suffered is in their secondary. Teams have been able to throw all day on them, throw the big play. Maybe they can lock down some of these talented receivers that you're going to see in D1, in the Pac-5, because they've always been able to do okay against the run. That coaching staff has always been able to stack it up and coach them real big against run teams.
Well, they're tough kids by nature.
Yeah. So if these guys, if Vons and Sidney, they can lock down those corners and they can take care of business and not give up those 28 and 35 and 42 points a game. Because look, you can't keep winning games 45, 31, 28, 25. I mean, they've got to be able to keep some of these good teams under 14 points, under 21 points, and that's hard at this level. But I think if Amat's gonna be successful this year, that defense is really going to have to rise to the occasion. And I do agree with you. I think they can go down to Santa Margarita and win the opener. I'm picking them too. I don't think it's going to be easy by any means. I think this quarterback, a 6'5" guy who a lot of scouts are looking at, he could be dangerous. So they're going to get tested really quick. You're gonna find out how they handle a good passing quarterback in week 1.
Well, like I said, week 0. Like I said, I firmly believe this Amat team is stacked. The only wild card, the only X factor is Garcia at QB and how long it takes him to get assimilated. He's a talented player, Fred, in his own right. There are certain things they can do, and with a fresh Camargo at running back, he's a load, man. He's hard to tackle. Yeah. I think Amat has the horses on defense. They're going to have a good pass rush to put heat on Costello. They have athletes to match up on the outside. When you talk about Trey Sidney being talked about as the #1 cornerback prospect in the country for not this year but the following year's recruiting class, I think they're going to be able to cover Santa Margarita's wide receivers. I have Amat relatively easy in this game. Yeah,
well, it's a game I think confidence-wise, God, you've got to win it. When you think of the new league this year and all of the games, it's a 7-team league. And every week is going to be tough. And next week they're going to go to Texas and play a team, and nobody really knows. I mean, we don't know much. Are they legit?
Outstanding.
Okay, so this is a game you got to win. You don't want to go there 0-1, a chance to go 0-2 with your league schedule. That's when you start a season. That is so important to start off good when you're someone like Bishop Amat and you got this league schedule on the horizon that's just going to be brutal. So I think this game is extremely important. It's on the road, and I do think they're going to do enough to win it, Aram.
I do too. Okay, so Freddie and I both have Bishop Amat in this game over Santa Margarita. We'll see what happens on Friday night. Don't need to tell the Amat fans to get out there because they'll be there by. Well, they're probably already there.
And Richard Hernandez, one of our best correspondents, really like to send out these big games.
Right.
He's going to be there, and he's already put a note on Twitter. Amat, update your rosters on Max Preps. Come on, your big-time football program, you need it.
That's a message we can give.
Transparency is important.
Yeah, that's a message we can give to literally every football program in the area. Please get your rosters up so we can cover you accurately, and we're not bugging you in the fourth quarter of a tie game saying, hey, who was number 6?
Yeah.
I'm sure people wouldn't like that. So anyways, there you have it.
Yeah. And that's going to be a Fox Sports game, so I'm sure there'll be rosters at the game, but let's get them on the websites.
Right. Enjoy it, everybody. We'll be back to see what happens with these predictions, Fred. I don't know. I feel confident.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to win, but not as confident as you, Aaron. What a role switch for us.
Yeah, really.